तो बच्चों, हम लोगों ने वेक्टर में एडिशन और सब्सट्रैक्शन को देखा है। एडिशन और सब्सट्रैक्शन में कुछ और हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं। जैसे एडिशन में मैंने आपको बताया था कि अगर कोई वेक्टर P है और ये वेक्टर Q है और दोनों के बीच का एंगल अगर थीटा है, तो P और Q के बीच का एंगल अगर थीटा है तो R will be the resultant of the two vector. This is R. It is represented by the diagonal of the two, of course, parallelogram. If two vectors P and Q are represented by the adjacent side of a parallelogram, then the diagonal of the parallelogram will represent the resultant of the two vectors. The magnitude of the vector is OB and the direction is represented by alpha, which R makes an angle with P. This is R is equal to P plus Q, and mod R is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, and tan alpha is Q sin theta P plus Q cos theta. If we are to calculate R is equal to P minus Q, basically this R is P plus minus Q. That means it is a resultant of P and minus Q. If this is P and this is Q and the angle between P and Q is theta, then this is minus Q, and this is R, and this R is P minus Q, and R square is P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos 180 minus theta, and tan alpha is Q sin 180 minus theta and P plus Q cos 180 minus theta. So it is tan alpha is Q sin theta P minus Q cos theta, and R square is P square plus Q square minus 2PQ cos theta, if theta is the angle between P and Q. Now we are going to solve a problem if the resultant of two unit vector is also a unit vector. Find the difference of that unit vector. Find the difference of that two unit vector. Two unit vectors. So if the resultant of two unit vector, let the two unit vectors are, let the two unit vectors are n and m, and the resultant is also a unit vector. Now the angle between n and m is, and the angle between them is theta. If the resultant is a unit vector r, then r is equal to n plus m, and mod r is equal to n square plus m square plus 2nm cos theta. This is also unit vector, so one is 1 square plus 1 square plus 2, 1 into 1 cos theta. So this is 1, 1, 1, 2 cos theta. So minus 1 is 2 cos theta. So cos theta is minus half. Theta is 120. Now we have to calculate the difference of two unit vector. We have to calculate the difference of the two unit vector. So difference of the two unit vector, this is to be calculated. So now difference of the two unit vector. So now r dash is n minus m. So r dash square is n square plus m square plus 2nm cos theta. The angle between n and m is 120. So it is 1, 1, 2, 1 into 1. Of course this is so square. So cos 120 is, so this is cos 180 minus theta. So this is 60 degree, cos 60, because theta is 120, 180 minus 120 is theta. So now r dash square is 1 plus 1 plus 2, cos 60 is half, that is 3. So the difference of the two unit vector has a magnitude is equal to, of course, 3 unit. So this is all about your difference. Now another problem of difference we can write. For example, if there are two vectors of magnitude 20 unit and q, there are two vectors of magnitude, one vector is of magnitude 20 unit and the other is q, and the other is q. So and the resultant is 20 root 3. Resultant is 20 root 3, and resultant makes an angle of 30 degree with one of the vector of magnitude 20 unit. What is the angle between the two vector and the value of other vector q? So this is our problem. This is 20, this is q, r is 20 root 3 and alpha is 30. There are two vectors, 20 and the other vector is q. The resultant is 20 root 3. The resultant makes an angle of 30 degree with one of the vector p. We are going to calculate the value of q and also the angle between p and q. So we are to calculate the angle between P and Q and the second vector Q, and given that one of the vector is P, resultant is 20 root 3 and resultant makes an angle of 30 degree with P. So here R is P plus Q. R is P plus Q. This is P and this is Q. This is Q and this is P and this is R. Now we can write Q is equal to R minus P. That means Q is the resultant of R and P, and if the angle between R and P is 30, it is the resultant of R and P not at 30, rather at 180 minus 30. So we can write this Q square to be R square plus P square plus 2RP cos 180 minus 30, because the angle between P and R is 30. So if angle between P and R is 30, then the angle between R and minus P will be 180 minus 30. So Q square is R square plus P square plus 2RP cos 30 degree with a minus sign. Now we can easily calculate the value of Q square as R is 20 root 3 whole square. P is 20 square and minus 20 root 3. This is R. P is 20 and cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So this is 2 and 2. So 20 root 3, 20 root 3. ये इससे cancel हो गया. And Q square is equal to 20 square. So Q is equal to 20. And if Q is equal to 20, so P is 20 and Q is 20 and R is 20 root 3. Now R is P plus Q. So now R square is P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. R is 20 root 3 whole square and this is 20 whole square plus 20 whole square plus 220 into 20 cos theta, where theta is the angle between P and Q. Now this is 1200. This is 800 and this is 800 cos theta. So 1200 minus 800 is 400 is 800 cos theta. So 400 minus 800 is 400 divided by 800 is cos theta and half is cos theta. So theta is of course 60 degree. So we have calculated the angle 60 degree, and this problem has been easily solved by the concept of course, R is equal to P minus Q. So now we can solve another problem. If a vector R is rotated through theta angle without changing in magnitude, calculate the change in vector. If a vector R is rotated through theta angle without change in magnitude, calculate the change in vector. So we are going to calculate the change in vector if so our question is, if a vector R is rotated through theta angle without change in magnitude, change in magnitude, calculate the change in vector. Calculate the change in vector. Calculate the change in vector R. So this is our problem. If a vector R is rotated through theta angle without change in magnitude, calculate the change in vector. देखो ये this is your vector R, and it has been rotated through theta angle without change in magnitude. So the magnitude of this vector OA and OB both are same, but it has been rotated through theta angle. So this vector is of course R dashed. Both R and R dashed have same magnitude, but their direction is different. That is why we call them R and R dashed. Now we are to calculate the change in vector. We can write R, and this is delta R. R plus delta R is R dash from triangle law of addition. R plus delta R is R dashed. R plus delta R is R dashed. So delta R is R dash minus R, or delta R is R dash plus R. R dash plus minus R. This is R and this is R. If the angle between R and R dash is theta, the angle between R and minus R dash, angle between R dash and minus R is of course 180 minus theta. R plus R dash is R plus delta R is R dash, so delta R is R dash minus R, R dash plus minus R. So now delta R can be written as delta R square is R dash square plus R square plus 2 R dash R cos 180 minus theta, where theta is the angle between R and R dash. So delta r square is r square plus r square, because the magnitude of r and r dash are same, and this is minus 2 r cos theta. So delta r square is 2r square 1 minus cos theta. Now we can write cos 2 theta is cos square theta minus sin square theta. So 1 minus cos 2 theta is 1 minus cos square theta minus sin square theta. So it is 1 minus cos square theta plus sin square theta. So it is 2 sin square theta. So 1 minus cos 2 theta is 2 sin square theta. Hence 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. Sin square theta by 2. So now delta r can be written as delta r square is 2r square 1 minus cos theta, and 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. So delta r square is 2r square, and it is 2r sin theta by 2. So delta r square is 4. So 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by. So it is 4r square sin square theta by 2. Sin square theta by 2. So delta r is 2r sin theta by 2. So if a vector is rotated through theta angle without change in magnitude, the change in vector is 2r sin theta by 2. And it can be easily solved like that. If the vector is r and this is your r dashed, it has been rotated through theta angle. Now this is the change in vector. R plus delta r is r dashed. R plus delta r is r dash. So delta r is r dash minus r. We will draw a perpendicular bisector. This is a perpendicular bisector. This angle is theta by 2, and this is your delta r by 2. So sin theta by 2 is equal to delta r by 2 by r, and that is why delta r is 2r sin theta by 2. So it can be easily calculated. If this is theta, this is perpendicular bisector, this is theta by 2, sin theta by 2 is delta r by 2 by r, and hence delta r is 2r sin theta by 2. So if a vector is rotated through theta angle without change in magnitude, the change in vector is 2r sin theta by 2. Thank you.